Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
False alarm in Cary. Why police surrounded this home near NC 540 this morning, and why they've cleared the scene. What we've learned from the WRAL breaking news tracker.
Plus, a truck into a building. One person was hurt after a truck crashed into an apartment building in Raleigh. But we're trying to learn about the driver and the people who live here.
One more really comfortable start for us this morning, and then we move back into a real sticky summer pattern. I'll let you know when we have storms in the forecast, too.
Super nice outside. If you're waking up and going out and having your morning coffee, it's very comfortable and it's going to set the scene for your Friday. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm Chris Lovingood.
And I'm Renee Chu. Yeah, just gorgeous color out there right now, matching Chris's tie. So lovely. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner also has a wonderful view on what's going to be a beautiful Friday.
It really is. Another really nice day like yesterday. It's going to be a warm afternoon, but it feels so good this morning. This is a look at Terminal 2 with our pretty sunrise in progress. Our temperatures in the triangle are in the mid-60s right now, and the dew point sitting at 63. When you step out the door and you feel like somebody threw a wet blanket over your head, temperatures are usually in the low 70s, dew points in the low 70s, and we're headed back there as we get into the weekend and for much of next week. So enjoy this one. It doesn't last too long. 59 in Roxborough, 64 in Goldsboro and Southern Pines, 66 in Clinton. Temperatures are maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 degrees cooler this morning than yesterday. It's not a big difference. It just feels very similar to yesterday. Lunchtime, mid-80s, and we do hit 90 this afternoon, but that could be the only 90-degree day in our forecast. That's because this weekend we changed the pattern. Sunday, we're back to showers and thunderstorms that could last well into next week. I'll show you how much more rain is headed our way coming up. Grant?
Just south of 540 along Leesville Road, there's a power pole damaged by a tree that's leaning on that. So there's a closure between Country Trail and Kingsland Drive. And this is off of Leesville Road, just south of 540. The breaking news tracker is on its way to that. So we'll give you a live picture there very, very soon. Also looking across the area, some of our drive times, things have been looking great this morning, and our cameras look great as well. I-40 at NC 54, not seeing any delays. You can tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
And keep us tuned in all morning long. Thanks, Grant. Well, police in Cary say a large response this morning to a neighborhood off Carpenter Fire Station Road near NC 540. It turned out to be a false alarm. Allie Cadabar was there at that scene as police were there and took off in the WRAL breaking news tracker. Allie, radio traffic indicated there was a deadly shooting there, but police say that just wasn't true.
Right, and when we got here around 4:30 this morning, we saw Cary police vehicles lining the street here on Parkman Grant Drive. Now, they told us that we should stay far away from the scene for safety reasons. It also appeared they were putting on tactical gear. We also saw a fire truck and EMS outside of the neighborhood, and they told us that they were staged there for medical assistance if needed. Now, around 5 this morning, we noticed the scene started to clear, and so we asked police on the scene. They told us it was a false alarm, but we want you to listen to this police radio traffic of the call that Cary police were dispatched to, indicating this was a deadly shooting.
TAC 40, I do need you to stage. Be advised you're responding to 306 Parkman Grant Drive. Give me reference to an argument that occurred, and caller advised they shot their mother. Patient's a 56-year-old female. She is not conscious, not breathing at this time. Again, caller is the assailant. Looks like it's possibly going to be an obvious death.
And we do know, again, that this was a false alarm, according to Cary police on the scene. There was other police radio traffic that we will get to at 6:30 that indicated that this was a barricade situation as well. So that indicates why police were putting on tactical gear. Now, we are working to find out more information about exactly what happened here. We have reached out to Cary police. Reporting live in Cary, Allie Cadabar, WRAL News.
And more breaking news. A woman was found shot overnight in Durham. This happened at Old Oxford Road around 2 this morning. WRAL's Kirsten Clark is live at the scene right now. Kirsten, what have you been able to learn from police?
Yes, Renee, here at the scene on Old Oxford Road. This is at the intersection of Danube Lane, and it reopened. Old Oxford was closed all the way down to Dearborn Drive for hours this morning. Within the last 30 minutes, it is reopened. But I'll take a step out of the way. The scene is still active. We're still seeing Durham police in this area blocked off near what is a laundromat, a tobacco shop, as well as a car wash and a car repair shop. All of that in this building over here. Now, I want you to take a look at this video from when the breaking news tracker first arrived just after 2:30 this morning. You can see the front window of the laundromat appears to be shot out. Dozens of evidence markers we could see in the road as police, forensics, and the Durham County Sheriff's Office investigated. At one point, police looked to be questioning people from the tobacco shop next door. And right now, from when I spoke with Durham police, they tell us a female victim was shot and she was found at a store. And they say shots were fired at the nearby Oxford Manor apartment. So we're still working to piece this information together to confirm information and to learn more details, including if there are any suspects, what exactly happened leading up to this shooting, and the extent of any injuries. So we, of course, will bring you those details as soon as we learn more information. Live in Durham, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
Kirsten, thank you. A person is hurt and an apartment building badly damaged after a crash this morning in Raleigh. Police responded to the scene on Forest Oaks Drive around 3:15 this morning, and they say the pickup truck you see here veered into the North Oaks Landing apartment building, causing extensive damage. Raleigh police say the driver fled the scene. A passenger in the truck was hurt and is expected to be okay. No one in the apartments was hurt.
Well, starting today, court hearings in the state could face delays, and that's because certified court interpreters plan a statewide work stoppage. This is in response to lawmakers leaving out funding in the new budget to increase their pay. Court interpreters help people with limited ability to speak English to communicate with judges, attorneys, and court staff during proceedings. But without them, it can mean postponements in cases ranging from criminal charges to domestic violence protective orders. Certified interpreters currently earn between $44 and $55 an hour, but neighboring states, such as Virginia and even South Carolina, pay much more than that. And so we asked the North Carolina Judicial Branch about this work stoppage, specifically whether it has a contingency plan if interpreters do not show up today, if court hearings could be delayed, and whether current pay is enough to meet the state's obligation to provide meaningful language access. The Judicial Branch referred WRAL to information on its website, but didn't answer any of those questions. But you can follow this story on the WRAL News app as we get developments and during our evening newscast starting at 4 p.m.
WRAL is looking for answers this morning after two more semi-trucks were torn open by the Peace Street Bridge in Raleigh. Both of these incidents happened just hours apart yesterday. This makes 6 crashes at that bridge in the last 2 weeks. Instances of trucks being damaged by the bridge have been happening for years now. It has happened so often that the bridge has been nicknamed the Peace Street Peeler. This is despite multiple warning signs leading up to the bridge. We spoke with DOT about why this may keep happening and what drivers can do to prevent it. One way, using GPS apps that account for the height of your vehicle.
There might be some folks that are renting trucks that may not know their clearance. Those GPSs that we use to get from point A to point B, they don't know the height of our vehicle.
We've reached out to Raleigh police asking how many crashes they've responded to the Peace Street Bridge and how it compares to previous years. We've also reached out to Norfolk Southern, the company that operates the railroad bridge, and we asked them, how do the collisions affect the structural integrity of the bridge? And would Norfolk Southern consider raising it? In a statement, the company told us, quote, safety is our top priority. The Peace Street Bridge is a long-standing railroad structure with posted vertical clearance that is clearly marked for motorists. Drivers are responsible for ensuring their vehicles comply with applicable roadway requirements.
President Donald Trump says an agreement has been reached for, quote, complete disarmament of Hamas. The president says this would pave the way for Gaza to be governed by a new Palestinian government, and this government would work alongside his board of peace. Now, this month, Hamas announced it would dissolve its government in Gaza, but the group has not responded to the president's announcement.
Iranian state media is reporting that Iran has targeted an airbase in Kuwait. Iranian media has released video claiming that it shows forces launching attacks towards Kuwait. As of this morning, Kuwait has not confirmed that attack. Iran has previously targeted U.S. infrastructure at military bases in the region. This comes as the U.S. Senate rejects another measure to rebuke President Donald Trump over the war on Iran. It lost by one vote. 3 Republicans voted in favor of limiting the president's war powers. Democrat John Fetterman was the only member of his party to side with Republicans.
And so gas prices saw a slight increase in Raleigh overnight as we're talking about the war on Iran's impact here stateside. According to AAA, the average for a gallon of gas in Raleigh around $3.83. That's up 3 cents from yesterday. Then in Durham and Chapel Hill, you have $3.86, and in Fayetteville, $3.71.
Looking ahead, Rocky Mount will no longer be under mandatory water restrictions. Starting this weekend, Rocky Mount will drop the mandatory water restriction and make it a voluntary restriction. Under this new rule, customers are encouraged to water lawns only when necessary, avoid washing driveways, and to continue to practice water-saving habits. A reminder that Raleigh will also be lifting its water restrictions on Monday. Those stage 1 restrictions include limits on when people can use sprinklers and ground irrigation systems. The decision was made after Falls Lake water supply levels reached its highest point since mid-April earlier this week.
Time on the clock is 6:11. Runaway tire crash. That is what led to this damage on this SUV. We'll show you more of the moment it happened.
And we are hearing from the Pitt County Sheriff for the first time about the death of a canine in a hot car.
We're devastated. We absolutely are. We lost a family member.
What we're learning about the handler and what he was doing while the dog was in the vehicle.
And it's another really pretty day today. We're starting off really comfortable, and then we end up with the chance for rain increasing over the weekend, especially Sunday. We already have a level 1 risk. We'll talk about how the weekend is shaping up coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:15, and it feels great and looks gorgeous. This is a look from the well departments over downtown Raleigh right now, and you can see that pretty sunrise in progress. Just a couple of clouds there on the horizon. It feels a lot like yesterday. Our temperatures are mainly in the low to mid 60s, 61 Roanoke Rapids, 68 in Fayetteville, 64 Southern Pines and Durham, 65 in Wilson and in Rocky Mount. Our humidity is low. Our dew point is down in the mid 60s right now, and our lunch forecast looks good. Our humidity will stay low today. It'll be in the mid 80s at lunchtime, so a shady spot should feel nice to eat your lunch outside. Walking the dog this morning really feels comfortable, but we do have a hot afternoon on the way with a high of 90 degrees. That is our only 90-degree day in the 7-day forecast because we're about to transition to a wetter pattern. I'll show you when that starts coming up. Grant?
Yeah, quick mention of this road closure one more time. South of 540 along Leesville Road between Kingsland Drive and Country Trail. We'll have a live look at that here very shortly. But I also want to show you a live picture from I-440 at Glenwood Avenue. All looking great so far there this morning. Traffic's running very smoothly on 440 and our other major routes as well, heading into both Raleigh and Durham. Not seeing any delays besides just a 1-minute delay headed south on Highway 501. Tune us into the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Laura Levine here in the WRAL Live Center. As Grant just mentioned, we now have a live look of that scene here on Leesville Road. Photojournalist Michael Joyner there at the scene where you can see Raleigh police having this stretch of Leesville Road blocked off because of that tree that's now leaning on a power pole. This is at Leesville Road, now closed between Kingsland Drive and Country Trail. Drivers are, of course, being asked to avoid this area, but you can see as Michael zooms in, some of the damage here with that tree. Just you see those branches falling and leaning on that power pole. So I want to walk over here to the other side because we're also seeing some power outages at this time. Hundreds of customers, about 500 currently without power because of this in this area. One section of this outage currently says that the time for restoration here 2:30 this afternoon. So, of course, we're going to keep you updated as this area and as crews continue to work to clean up this area.
Oh, what a mess. Well, the Pitt County Sheriff says a canine officer whose dog died in a hot car will not face charges. However, that officer will also no longer be assigned to a dog. The Pitt County Sheriff's Office says K9 Chili's handler forgot she was in the car. Well, the handler found the dog dead 4 hours later at the end of his shift. In a new interview, Sheriff Paula Dance called what happened a tragic accident, but she also answered a question many people have been asking. What was the handler doing while the dog was in the car?
I know that at some point he did paperwork. I've established that at some point he ate his lunch in a break room, and then he went back and did more paperwork.
And right now, the SBI is investigating this case.
A scary crash in Philadelphia caught on camera. Video shows a tire flying across the interstate and then slamming into an SUV. The tire bounced over the median and then hit the vehicle with tremendous force. Pennsylvania State Police are investigating where the tire came from. Officials have not released any information about possible injuries. Cheers to beer, watermelon, and local art this weekend.
Okay, time to talk about it, and WRAL's out and about.
It will be a big weekend for barbecue lovers in Cary. Tonight is the start of the Beer, Bourbon, and Barbecue Festival at Cocoa Booth Amphitheater. There will be dozens of different types of bourbon, beers, and plenty of delicious food. The festival starts tonight at 6. It runs through Sunday, and you can get tickets online.
And tomorrow is a great day for watermelon lovers. McLean Family Farms Nursery and Ice Cream Shop is hosting its Watermelon Festival. This will include live music, line dancing, and a watermelon eating contest. It's free to attend, but parking is $5, so you know. This will be at the McLean Family Farms on River Road from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. tomorrow. Then you have local artists being showcased this weekend at the North Carolina Museum of Art. The museum, along with Triangle Pop-Up, they're hosting the market at NCMA. It's a great chance for people to view some of the great art and shop local there. That event is tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And for more weekend fun, you can visit the WRAL.com Out and About section.
Sounds like you can hit all the food groups with watermelon, bourbon, and barbecue. Right. Get all your nutrients. All right. Beautiful sunrise this Friday, Elizabeth.
Oh, look at this. This is where people are going to want to be over the weekend. I mean, this morning it's so beautiful. If there are any fishermen out there, I know that they're appreciating these really lovely temperatures and the pretty sunrise that we've seen. 64 is our current temperature right now. Our wind is nice and calm. You can see almost that glassy look of Carr Lake right here. We are looking at a nice low dew point. So humidity is very comfortable. Just a really pretty start out there for it today. But our next system is winding up back to the west, and tomorrow you'll start to notice a bit of a climb in the humidity, and then we're back to a wet pattern like we saw at the beginning of this week. Scattered showers and thunderstorms will develop along a front that approaches from the west. That front will stall and continue to bring us showers and thunderstorms into early next week. On Sunday, we have the chance of some isolated damaging wind. This is a look at our severe threat, and it does cover the entire viewing area for Sunday. These will be storms that come moving in from the west. Wind damage would be our greatest threat. We could have some heavy rain and some hail. And, you know, we're pretty well primed. If we have some heavy rain, we could see a little bit of minor flooding. This is tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to wake up to more cloud cover than this morning, and the humidity begins. Watch where the clouds are coming from. See how they're coming up from the south? That's going to start to bring in more warmth and humidity. This is Saturday at 7 p.m. So Saturday does look dry. So if you're headed out to any of those fun events or festivals, you're going to be fine. Sunday morning, I can't promise that it won't be wet, but we don't really get into the thunderstorms until right around or just after lunchtime. There's noon, and then as we head toward 2 o'clock, some of those scattered cells could begin to produce some heavy rain and the chance of some wind damage. That continues all the way up until after sunset. We're going to widen out the view a little bit and talk more about what's happening the next few days. Sunday afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms, and then we'll repeat that on Monday. See all the rain in place on Monday. Tuesday, you can see more rain, and then possibly Wednesday and Thursday as well. So this front's going to stall and continue to bring us those chances for rain. Of course, we did really well with our drought monitor update. So we had some major improvement. We could still use a little bit of rain. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday definitely deliver anywhere from about an inch to maybe 2 inches of rain over the 7-day period. In the Triangle, we're back to moderate drought, which is great to see. But again, we'll have more rain in our forecast, like it or not. And we'll talk more about our rising temperatures coming up. Grant?
You want to start with a live picture. This is going to be south of 540 off Leesville Road between Kingsland Drive and Country Trail. There's a road closure there with a tree leaning on a power pole there. So you can see the police are on scene. We're going to take a quick zoom in here. You can see some of that tree damage there and some of the damage to the power pole. So again, police are blocking off that section of the road between Kingsland Drive and Country Trail. If you want to look at the map here, you can see there isn't a whole lot of congestion so far. Everywhere is in the green along Leesville Road, but we'll keep a close eye on this and bring you updates throughout the morning. Tune us into the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Staying focused, UNC's chancellor is fielding questions about the decision to place football GM Michael Lombardi on leave. What he has to say about the situation and the start of Bill Belichick's second season with the Tar Heels. And if you see breaking news, have a story tip, or take video or pictures of the weather where you are, please report it to us. Go to WRAL.com/report it to send your video, pictures, or tip to our news team.
This What's Trending report is sponsored by Call Dad AC and Heating.
Guess what? We are talking about the return of Clueless.
Okay, let's talk about it and what's trending.
A sequel series to the iconic movie Clueless is in the works, and Alicia Silverstone will return. She'll be reprising her role as Cher Horowitz. The show will follow her daughter going through high school, and parenting a teenager makes Cher feel positively clueless. Production is set to begin next year. 31 years in the making, Chris.
I wonder if Paul Rudd is going to be in that too, because he was in that, and he still looks like the exact same age.
Yeah, he hasn't aged. Pop culture phenomenon. Oh, it'll be a good series. 6:27 now. Shooting investigation in Durham. Police are at the scene on Old Oxford Road after a woman was shot. You're looking live here. What we're learning from that location in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker.
Plus, a truck crashed into a building and one person was hurt. This happened at an apartment building in Raleigh. But we're trying to learn about the driver and the people who live there.
And it's such a pretty start this morning. This is a live look at Franklinton. Pretty glow as that sun's about to pop up over the horizon. It feels great out there right now. But I'll show you our pattern change that'll bring storms back to our forecast coming up.